So I built this crazy, complicated, animated Pantorouter trade show display for Mac Sheldon for use at the Baltimore Wood Show, but I wasn't there myself, but Mikhail Makarevich took a video of the whole thing, and I quite enjoyed watching that, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it too.
I'm Mac Sheldon, and I'm the North and South America distributor for the Pantorouter. The Pantorouter was originally invented by Matthias Wandel from Canada, and he uses a pantograph mechanism that has a template and a guide bearing. The guide bearing follows the template and translates that information to half scale to the workpiece. And when we do that, we get extreme control over the router bit, which is not only very safe to operate, but also gives us very, very high quality cuts. Now, in order to cut a double mortise and tenon, for instance, we can just set up our guide bearings to follow the outside of our template. And to cut the mortise, the corresponding mortise piece, we just follow the inside in order to cut the slot mortise. Because we have this extreme control over the system, we're able to then create, for instance, finger joints. This is a 1/4-inch finger joint, or we can change our router bit and use a 1/2-inch finger joint. Or we can change to a dovetail template and cut a very, very high quality, very quickly, a dovetail joint. And we're not limited to just one or two. We can, if we want to put 4, we can do that, either through or blind. The Pantorouter was again invented by Matthias Wandel, but we manufacture the aluminum version in Japan, and it's extremely high quality. We use linear glide bearings instead of just bushings in the system. All high pressure cast aluminum, aircraft grade aluminum throughout the Pantorouter. We even use flange bearings on our compound, our tilting table system.
Here there are bearings.
Yeah,
there.
There's a bearing right here.
Bearings are everywhere in the sliding system.
Yes,
here,
that's right.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no pins or bushings, right?
Correct. No bushings, no plastic, except where it's the very best material, like in our templates. Now, we've also come up with some real interesting innovations, including the first thing that we do is to set up the thickness. In order to find the center, we just raise the template holder, slide it down on this block that we've got at this scribed line, and now our template holder is exactly centered on the thickness of our material. We'll then slide it onto our table where we can hold it down with the clamp system, and we have perfect control. Now, our hands, as you'll notice, are well away from the spinning router bit, so it's a very safe operation to use. The other innovations that we've got, this is a brand new dust collection system, and I'm going to send this to Matthias as soon as I get back from this show, and we just patented this 2 days ago.
So who invented it?
This was invented by Kuldeep Singh. Matthias invented the machine 5 years ago, but a couple of years ago, Kuldeep got very interested in it, but he's a metal worker and a superb metalworking engineer. He first made one from steel, and it wasn't precise enough, so he endeavored to make one from aluminum and incorporated all of these precision components in order to get the very, very high quality that we have today. So Kuldeep is just now making a mold so that we can create the dust collection system.
So that's the latest news
yes,
in the Pantorouter world, the dust collection.
Yes, and it works extremely well.
I was amazed how well this brushes
Yeah,
and all that.
and it's
works.
not just the brush. There's something else that's going on
Something else.
inside
Okay,
here.
well, I'm not going to ask you for secrets.
Yeah, that makes it possible to operate so effectively and efficiently.
I gotcha. So all these things were developed in addition to Matthias's.
In addition to Matthias's original.
The design was improved and added upon.
Exactly right. And you know, the Japanese business term is kaizen, and it means incremental change, incremental improvements. Every day you try to improve it a little bit more. And so that's the attitude or
I got you.
the way that we approach the business.
That is very smart.
Yep. So we do have a distributor in the EU and North and South America. Then Kuldeep ships directly to the rest of the world, and eventually we'll have distribution throughout the world.
So at this point he sends it from Japan. Everything comes from
Yes,
Japan.
From Japan, and again, we bring them in 50 or 100 at a time and then distribute them from here.
He confirmed that he did send one machine to Frank Howard. Remember, he made a huge bowl
Yes.
that he inlaid with these pieces, like sort of like kidney-looking pieces.
Yes.
It was amazing because I was like, wow, that was smart. It was a good move because you know Frank is well known, and
But Frank is a great guy.
so Kuldeep is a metal worker, and he's a businessman.
Kuldeep is the consummate engineer. Right now, he's in the Himalayas. He spends a week every 6 months or so just focusing on his creative side. And right now, doing the 3D CAD drawings and everything for our next innovations that will be
got you.
coming out over the next
So
6
are there
months.
any other machines in the pipeline besides the
Oh,
Pantorouter?
yes.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
yes.
So of course you can't tell us.
Of course not. But
Can I give at least like an idea what it's going to be?
well, it's all woodworking machines. And-
well, this is a
and
woodworking machine.
Everything to enhance the operation in the shop.
It was like joint cutting or in that direction kind of?
In that direction.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna pick your brain much.
But I will tell you from personal experience, the way that I got involved with this, I bought the plans from Matthias. They sat on my workbench for 3 months, and I finally looked at it and said, look, I'm not going to build it. And when this came available, I bought this instead.
Wow.
Now, in the conversation with Kuldeep to buy these, the metal Pantorouter, we started talking about my background, and I asked him where he lived, and it was in Kyoto, and I've been to Kyoto many, many times. In fact, I've traveled to Japan 80 times. So he said, well, why don't you become my distributor? And it was the logical thing to do. So I've had so much fun working with this, working with Kuldeep, working with Matthias, and I just, this is the most
I'm gonna check your Japanese.
This is the most fun tool in my shop. Absolutely.
Okay. Onata wa sushi ga dai desu ka?
You like sushi? Okay.
Good job.
Me too.
Now I believe it. I believe it now that you traveled to Japan 80 times.
Yeah. And my Japanese is not so good anymore, but it's but I've certainly enjoyed that part of my life, and now this is a new phase in my life. I thought I was
So
getting
you are
ready
sort
to
of like a
retire.
financial guy for these two engineers.
Yes, and I've done the marketing. I've done the trademark work and the patent work for us for our
So you do
little
the
team.
paperwork for the patents. And
Yes,
What
yes.
is your background? Business or
No, I'm a
engineering?
mechanical engineer.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's perfect.
I've owned a couple of companies, and
Wow.
I spent the last 15 years working in building science, in insulation, air sealing, weather-resistant barriers, vapor retarders, that kind of thing for commercial construction.
Oh wow, unbelievable. So wow, so you're the perfect guy for these two engineers. Someone who can take their ideas and push them even further.
And I have a small niche and a small responsibility, but those guys are so brilliant.
Wow,
I
no
love
question
working.
about it.
Yeah.
Well, Mac, thank you so much for the time, and I hope to see you again. And
Okay.
I wish you good luck with that machine and with your new machines that you are about to present
Yes,
soon.
thank you very
I'm sure
much.
that next year I'll see the new machines and that you will be presenting here.
Yes, with any luck, we'll have at least one of them at the International Wood Fair in Atlanta that's in August.
In August, so
So-
you are pretty close to production then.
Well, I hope so.
Okay.
And at least we're going to have the final version of the dust collection system and
gotcha.
will be demonstrated. Yep.
Thank you so much, Matt, again.
Thank you.
So the first thing that we're going to do, I have right here, a 2x4. This was from a pallet, but it used to be a 2x4. Now this